and it's always funny when he is. The goofy side of himself. So, for me, I love it. Get out of here, stupid fly.
Aw, and you care about me so much, you'll be my bodyguard. That's so nice.
I'll incinerate.
Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful anime fans. Shelby here, and today is another episode of Anime Simp Hour. This one, if you guessed the correct character in the previous Anime Simp Hour video, and you guessed Hawks from My Hero Academia, you are correct. You are correct. I literally got ready, sat down, and I was looking at a few images of Hawks, and I was like, oh, he wears headphones. Are those headphones? I really don't know if they actually are. I assume they are, because they look like it. Maybe they're actually not. But maybe they're like a communication or something. But I was like, I have headphones. So I'm adding my Soundcore headphones from Amazon. Not sponsored. To this aesthetic here, because I kind of forgot about it. And I'm wearing red-ish eyeshadow and a red shirt and black pants, because he does wear kind of like a black undershirt. I could have, I guess, also maybe done yellow too, but I don't really have a massive amount of yellow anything. And I have this shirt, and I like this shirt. So, this is kind of the aesthetic here we're going with. And then, yeah, I remember the headphones, and I was like, I have headphones. I got very excited. And, you know, we have a little Hawks. Here we go. This is my other aesthetic right here. It's a little Hawks on my mic. So it's fine. I extremely love Hawks. I don't know about any of you. He's probably my favorite pro hero. I love him. I think he's just super fun. I love his, like, goofiness and everything else. I love his backstory. He's one of those characters that you can just dig right into. And he's another one of those characters that you don't fully realize how much of an interesting and important character they are until you get more of a backstory. Like, he was just kind of this pro hero that seemed to be a little cocky, is young, and really becomes a lot more of an important character than you originally expect when you first introduced to him. So I love characters like that. Simp Hour is basically just, I am sitting here talking to you about these characters. Think of it as me and you are at a coffee shop, and we are chilling, and we're vibing, and we are talking about Hawks right now. Or whatever. If you're watching one of my other videos right now, me and you are talking about that character that I'm discussing. So, that's kind of what this is. We're talking about everything. Yes, it's called Anime Simp Hour, but we are not just talking about how hot some of the characters are. We're going to talk about how hot Hawks is. But that's not going to be the key point. We're going to be going into backstory, how hot he is. We're going to talk about just him in general, and have just a grand old dandy time while doing it. Because, again, I love Hawks. Stay tuned to the end of the video to get a hint of the next character. So I will give you a quote of the character that the next video will be about, and then in the comments you can let me know who you think that character is, and find out if you were right or not when the video comes out. So, you can also find out early by going to my Patreon as well, as those will be up there 2 days before the actual video on YouTube comes out, so you can get early access to the video and find out who it is before, and find out if you were right before it actually comes out. So, there's a little bit of fun there. I'm also doing Get Ready With Me videos for November. I don't have any for October because I hadn't thought about it when I first recorded all of them. But I'm going to be doing Get Ready With Me videos for each one, and exclusive only on Patreon. And you can get ready with me while I do makeup, hair, and we'll just do a little bit of a chat about the character, or just whatever. Like, just talk about whatever that comes to my brain. So, very fun. It's been fun doing those. It takes me a little bit longer to get started on the video because I do that. On in to this episode of Anime Simp Hour, discussing Hawks. So, one of the things immediately when I was, like, writing out my topics for Hawks, like, the first thing that came to my brain was just his backstory. And I just want to talk about it, get it out of the way, because it is very heartbreaking. And just very sad for a child to go through. His father was a thief and hurt people, just didn't seem like a great man whatsoever. I don't remember I'm the greatest man. His mom was fully not any better, if I also remember correctly. They both just did not seem like the greatest of parents. Between the both of them, I think his mom was a little bit more around for him, but still not the greatest in the entire world. And he just had a very rough childhood, and being kind of just really mainly seeming like he raised himself, to be honest. I don't really think there was a lot of raising when it came to his parents. I think he raised himself majority of the time. But I really enjoy the fact that when his father was arrested, and he finds out not only was he arrested, he was also arrested by Endeavor. That's what makes him love Endeavor. Is because he took that man out of his life. And he was happy about it. It's heartbreaking, but also really cute at the same time, because of the fact that he's a lot. And to have his backstory of but he loved Endeavor because that's who arrested his father. That got him out of that situation. And then his mom makes them flee because they could then go there, and then she could be arrested too and take Hawks away. But then they get found by, I can't remember the name of the people that got Hawks. I think they had a name. I just, for the life of me, don't remember who that was. But they see the potential in Hawks because he had saved a bunch of people from a bus crash, I believe, by using his quirk. The feathers had come off of him and he saved a bunch of people. And they saw the potential in Hawks to bring him in and train him as, I want to basically say it's like a spy. He was kind of a spy, right? That's kind of, I feel like, more or less what he was, because he infiltrated the League of Villains and stuff like that as a fake pro hero. And so I kind of feel like he's more of a spy or like a double agent type of a person. And his mom finds out, they would even pay her to give them her son, and she just seems like she just does it right away. And maybe there was a part of her that knew she wouldn't be able to give him a home, wouldn't be able to take care of him, but at least in this case, he would have people who could take care of him. So it could have been truly I won't be able to take care of you. You need to go to these people because I can't. Or it was because she just wanted the money. I mean, I feel like I could see it going either way. Especially when it's talked about her again later on, when it's discovered of the potential of her being interrogated or something. It kind of seems to imply either way. I want to believe she just wanted what was best for him, but I can also kind of see just wanting the money. It can be either direction, but regardless, I feel like just his entire past of, and who knows what he dealt with in that organization and all the training he went through. We don't really see a great deal of that, of what he experienced during that time. And though he's good at his job, you can really tell it kind of takes a toll on him, like it did with the previous person. There was a lot of things, I think, that, and I would love to know more on that. I would love to see, I know the show's over, or not the show, but the manga's over, the anime's about to be over, so I doubt they're ever going to explain this or do anything about it, but I would love a little series or something, or a light novel of Hawks in that organization, seeing him train, what he went through while training when he was a child, to when we are introduced to him in the show, like from then on, to see everything he experienced and dealt with during that time. I would love to see that, because I think it would be so interesting. Especially if you consider the fact he's kind of like a spy double agent. I think there would be a lot of cool stories you could put in there. And people love Hawks. Hawks is a very popular character. So I think it would do really well if they did something like that around him. To me, anyways. I would buy it. Like, 100% I would buy it. But I like, too, the fact that he likes Endeavor because of what he did because of his father. Endeavor doesn't even know that. I don't know if Endeavor ever finds out, does he? Maybe he does. I can't fully remember if he knows why Hawks has taken a liking to him and has tried to help him specifically. I think he does. I just don't 100% remember. I don't know. I can't remember. I feel like I have a memory of him possibly figuring that out, but I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. But I think that is something I would love to see. Like, if you ask me, what would you want to see about Hawks? Like, say the manga was still going or something, like what you would want to see. I think it would be that. I would love to know what he experienced during all of that. Like, the training, as soon as he left his mother, like what he went through in that time frame up until we meet him in the show. Like, when he steps on that stage as the second? Is he the second? Number 2 pro hero? Or third? I think he's the second. I believe he's the second. I would love to see that so much. And I know it's over, but I'm like, I think it could do some good. I think people would pay for that, especially when the show ends, to give people a little bit more content with it soon to be over. Like, that would be amazing. I just realized by the time this comes out, My Hero, the last season, will be out. Will be releasing, because this is coming out in November. And I believe the anime starts this weekend, which is the 4th or 5th of October. So I just realized that. I am not ready, I want y'all to know. I love My Hero Academia. I love it so much. I'm really sad to see it end. But all good things have to come to an end. Except for One Piece. With like 1,000 episodes. But it's fine. It has to end eventually. I'm sure it will end eventually, but just, hopefully not anytime soon. But that is something, if you asked me what you wanted from Hawks, that's what I would want to know, is what he experienced during that program. Because I think it could be really good stories, and because he's such a popular character, I think it would sell. I think it would be good, honestly. The goofiness that we see from him occasionally doesn't stem from because he didn't fully have a child. To me, he really didn't have a childhood. Like, from what I remember, he really was not around other kids. He couldn't really, I think they got mad at him for going outside and going somewhere because he could get noticed being alone. Like, it seems like he couldn't really do anything. And so for me, it really seems like the goofiness and childlike side he shows every now and then is from not having that type of childhood versus other kids. So he is now, as an adult, having a little bit more free reign. He's kind of showing that side a little bit of kind of just being whoever he wants to be. That's what I think. And, it also could just be his personality. It may not even have anything to do with that. He could just be that goofy, silly guy. But he, at times, has a very serious moment. Like, I'm looking at Google Photos right now, and there's an image of when he's talking to Endeavor, and he's like this, laughing. And then there's like 2 images next to it, is him looking so serious. And that's what I like. I really like characters who have that kind of goofiness side, but then have like a switch that immediately makes them serious. And I like characters like that because I don't know why. I just think it's cool. I think that's why I like Gojo. It's why I like Hawks. It's why I like Dazai. It's why I like a lot of those characters, because it's just fun to see that goofiness. Meliodas is very goofy and silly, but then has a button that if you switch it, he gets serious and in the moment. And I enjoy characters that are like that. And I do like characters too that are serious and then have goofy sides. I love Colonel Mustang, and I feel like that's kind of him. You know, he's more serious but has the goofy side occasionally, and it's always funny when he is the goofy side of himself. So, for me, I love it. Get out of here, stupid fly. I also really enjoyed his introduction to the show, because he had just such a little bit of cockiness when you first are first introduced to him, when they're kind of revealing the new like ranking of pro heroes, and he just has such a cocky side and just appearance about himself in that first moment that just makes you like, I want to know everything about this man. Like, his wings are just displayed for the world to see, and I'm like, I need to know this man. Who is this? Why is he just now being introduced? Why did it take so long? Why wasn't he here sooner? Like, he's just so cool to me. And his intro is just so fun. I love his quirk. I think his quirk is really cool, that he can fly around and then send the feathers wherever he wants. And I do like the risk of the more he sends out, the less he won't be able to fly. Like, they could have easily just been like, oh, I can still fly even though half of my wings are gone. They could have done that. But I like the fact that they kind of are like, no, actually, if the more he uses, he could fall. He could not be able to fly anymore until they are brought back. So that, I like that. And I just think his design is really cool. I love his hair. His hair, especially in the beginning. I want to play with it. I love the headphones that he's wearing, the glasses or goggles, whatever those are. And just his outfit. His outfit is just so cool. It matches his hair, too. I realize that. The, like, tan kind of, it matches his hair. Wonder if he did that on purpose. I bet he did that on purpose. And then the yellow, he's kind of like a yellow-red fire hydrant. Like a hot fire hydrant. What? Also kind of like that he takes a liking to, is it not Kurigami? Tokoyami? Tokoyami, there we go. He grows a liking to Tokoyami because of the bird aspect. He's kind of like, hey, I could teach this kid a thing or two, because he also flies, and he's also kind of a bird with dark shadow. And I like that he takes a liking to him. And I also feel like hit the desk. He really takes a liking to Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, too, when they are training with Endeavor. You can really see he kind of seems to take a liking to all three of them, but I think all different reasons. Shoto is Endeavor's son, so of course he's going to take a liking to him because of looking up to Endeavor. I think he kind of likes Deku, how Deku is, and with his quirk, I think he realizes pretty quickly it's similar to All Might's. And then he has some goofy moments with Bakugo that I think he kind of sees that potential of all three of them. And so he really kind of takes a liking to them too, and which is really funny. I love him meeting them for the first time too. It was so funny. That was hilarious. I like that he kind of was the one that went to All Might and was like, there's more about this kid. Like, something's going on here. Like, he was, I believe, one of the ones that kind of could tell there was more going on than just a random kid with a similar quirk. And he's very intelligent, too. I really don't think people talk about that enough either. Hawks is, I think, very intelligent. He's very overrated. I think when it comes to, or not overrated, underrated. Wrong thing. Oh, underrated. Because he is very smart. And I think he kind of noticed that decently quickly. And I do like him working with Best Jeanist. And I kind of think that could be what the stems with Bakugo. Maybe why he kind of also seemed to have a liking for Bakugo is because of Best Jeanist. Could have been because of the same way. But I just think it's just funny. I've kind of already went to a little bit of how hot I think he is. Everything. He's just hot. Like, it's the hair, it's the design, it's even the wings. Like, it's everything. And I can look at him all day. You know what I mean? It's one of those characters that you, like, can just stare at all the time. I also like, as well, when they do the raid and he ends up fighting Dobby. He does get severely hurt, and it kind of stays with him. Like, you can tell he has to cut his hair his hair got messed up because of what Dobby did. He's got the scars on him from fighting him. Like, it didn't just happen and then that was it. He was scarred afterwards. His voice was all fucked up afterwards. Like, he actually struggled with that fight. And I think even his wings got messed up too after that. It really limited him afterwards. And I know there are controversy with Hawks and Twice. I know some people think that he did just straight up kill him. To me, I think it's the same situation in a way with Genu when in Solo Leveling, when he fights the guys in the dungeon with the spider and they try to kill them in order to get all the loot and stuff. That's what they do. And it was either a kill, bug. For Genu, it was either kill or be killed. Even if the system didn't tell him to kill, I think he would have had to make that call regardless. Because they were going to kill him. And that's, I mean, at the end of the day, it was kill or be killed. And I think to me, Hawks, it was a similar situation. It was kill or be killed. And then it was also, if I don't kill him now, if I have this opportunity, he's going to be a problem later. So, in order to try and save lives after this, he chose to kill. And I know that they have this thing of, like, heroes shouldn't kill. But I think in this circumstance, Hawks had to make that decision to kill or be killed, or to save how many lives if he didn't kill him. Did I like Twice? Yes. I loved Twice. He was really funny, and I loved him. I didn't want him to die. But he was one of the strongest and one of the more League of Villains people they were the most afraid of. And he does end up becoming a problem anyway, just not alive. You know, Toga ends up taking his blood and able to use his quirk for a long period of time and duplicate it. So it ends up being a problem regardless. But if Twice was actually there, it could have been an even bigger problem. So to me, I think Hawks had to make that decision in such a quick timing that I don't fully think he did anything wrong. I think he was thinking about the outer look of after this. After this, will I regret not killing him here and now? How many more people will he kill after this if I don't do it now? And it was also a killed or be killed. They were both technically fighting each other. And Twice could have killed Hawks. You know, it's kind of like the thing with, like, Batman and Joker. It's like Batman has a thing of not killing people. And I'm like, think about all the lives you could have saved if you did kill Joker. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about that aspect, it's kind of like, he had to make that call. So I don't fully think he did anything wrong, but I do understand the belief that maybe he shouldn't have killed him. But I think if they didn't say he didn't kill him and instead they arrested him, all the prisons got broken out of anyway. You know, there were people who were able to flee from the prisons and stuff like that. I don't remember which season that was, but a lot of them escaped anyway. So he probably would have been one of them. I think regardless, he would have become a problem if alive. And I don't personally blame Hawks for that decision. Now, do I understand if somebody thinks that he shouldn't have done it? Yeah. But me personally, I don't think he did anything wrong. So, that's just my opinion. If you have your own, that's great. Everybody can have their own opinions, obviously. I'm not, if you in the comments say, oh, I actually think Hawks shouldn't have done that, I'm not going to judge you for that. And I hope you don't judge me for my thought. because I'm not going to judge you, because that's not what this place is. That's not what I want this to be. I want to be more open with my opinion because I get worried about all the negativeness that people have because nobody can apparently have their own opinion. So that's what I want this to be. This is no judgment zone. You can tell me if you agree or disagree with me, but no judgy. No judgy. I am also extremely upset with the fact in the previous season when they are all fighting All For One and the different battles are going on with Shigaraki and others, and All Might ends up fighting All For One and stuff like that. The fact that Hawks loses his quirk. I'm happy he didn't die. I would have been upset if he died. But at least he didn't die. But the fact that he did lose his quirk, I think is really sad. But I'm also kind of like, I think he was struggling with his quirk to begin with. After what happened with Dabi, I think his quirk was never 100% the same. So I can kind of see how that had to happen. Because I think he was not going to be able to use his quirk much longer anyway. Due to what happened with him and Dabi. So I think it would have happened regardless. But it was really sad because he was also trying to save Tokoyami too. Because he was, I think, going to try to take Dark Shadow as well. And he did not want him to take Tokoyami's quirk. And I think he risked his own being taken. And that was really sad. Because I absolutely love Hawks. Again, him doing that, I think, was really sad. And that season when I finished that season, I had to look up the manga to make sure one specific character was okay, because I could not wait until the final season. Otherwise, I would have raged. I would have been like, you can go suck a lemon. You probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil anything in case anybody hasn't seen this yet. Well, I think I have kind of mostly covered everything I wanted to about Hawks. I think one of the biggest things I would love to see, I know it's not going to happen because it's, the manga's over and the anime's almost over now, but I just think it'd be so cool to see what he did when he was in that program and training. I would love to see that because I think it would be such cool stories. And it would add more to this character specifically. Especially depending on the characters or the backstory or the stories that they had him do could tie into the current time. They could do like a tie-in of something of him during all of that. Would have just been really cool. I would have liked to see that. It could be like a light novel about Hawks. You know what I mean? Like just a little thing. I also like light novels, so but I love Hawks, and he's again my favorite pro hero. I love his quirk. His quirk is what up there for me. I love him in general as a character. I think he's fun. I think he's compelling. I think he's just a really perfect all-around character. And yeah, let me know in the comments if I missed anything. And either when the show is over, I can do a part 2 of anything I might have missed. Because I will do a part 2 when the show's over. In case there's anything if there's anything about Hawks that needs to be added, I will do a part 2 when the series ends. And then in the video, you can in the comments, you can tell me if I missed anything. And then I can add it into that part 2 when it happens. So, remember to do that. And let me know what you like about Hawks. If he is your favorite pro hero. And if he's not, who is? Because I would like to know. I would ask what you would like to see from Hawks. Like I've been doing. I've been saying, let me know what you would like to see from this person. But the manga's over, sadly. So, I mean, you can tell me if there's anything you wish could have seen. Like I did. I explained what I wish happened. Or could happen. So, you could still tell me that if you want to. And I already have a quote for the next character. This is your hint for the next character that Anime Simp Hour will have. And I just immediately had the idea because I love this character. And he's my favorite character in this show. You're probably going to get it because it's going to be a very obvious quote, I think, but especially if you know some of the stuff I've watched and you know who my favorites are of things, then you probably know. But I want to do it anyway. I'm gonna try to make some simple, some hard. I wait until last second to make the video or to come up with the quote. So I don't do it beforehand. I just do it while I'm recording. So I procrastinate until the last minute. So you get to watch me just sit here and figure out what to say. So, your quote for the next anime simp hour character is, "There is a monster inside of me." If you know, you know. In the comments, let me know who you think it is, and let me know in the video when it comes out if you were correct. And like always, I'm happy you were here. Believe it.
Anyway, bye-bye.